There's really no way for me to talk about Rocketman without going into a massive amount of spoilers. So I'll just say Rocketman is an amazing movie, and if you haven't seen it, you should. And spoilers are going to start now. Rocketman is a musical. They take Elton John's songs and they integrate them into the story, and it's so well done. It almost makes you think that the situations in which they use the songs are what he was singing about, and it likely isn't. I mean, someone else wrote most of his songs, and I really admire Elton John for being so upfront about that. He's just basically like, yeah, I can't write my own music, and I mean, that's fine. He's a good singer, he's a good musician, he just had someone else write his lyrics, and they're amazing songs. So there's this one song called I Want Love that Elton John as a young kid and his parents and his grandma all sing, and it is just, it's amazing. It is amazing. It's so good. And I cannot remember the name of the actress who plays the grandmother, but she's good. She was Bridget Jones' mom, Madame Pomfrey in Harry Potter. She's been in a ton of other stuff. But she's such a good singer, and I think they did such a good job at finding people who could actually sing. I don't know why that's so difficult. I mean, it's like the remake of Beauty and the Beast, which I'm never gonna see. You know, they hired Emma Watson who can't sing. They could have hired someone who could. It would have been so much better. Also, I'm someone who has a really big problem when accents sound fake, and Bryce Dallas Howard, who played Elton John's mom for, I think, all of the movie in exceptionally great makeup, had the most authentic British accent ever. I kind of forgot who she actually was because I remembered her from Jurassic Park, but then I thought, wait, she's American. She actually had a good British accent. I think she must have gone to someone similar to who Renee Zellweger went to when she was doing Bridget Jones, because yeah, her accent is just phenomenal. Like, all the actors are so good. Even the guy who plays Elton John's dad is just, such he's such a bad guy, but he's so convincing at it. Everyone just does such a fantastic job. Like, everything about this movie is so great. I think the best part for me is how they center the story. Basically, Elton John has ended up in this round circle in rehab. And he starts out wearing this very Elton John-esque costume, and eventually the costume disappears throughout the movie until he's just wearing kind of a tracksuit. And he's telling his story, and that's kind of, you know, you keep going back to the therapy room and back and forth between his life. And it was just such a good way to just do this casually and not be like, oh, it's some convoluted way of just setting up the story. No, you believe that this is why he would be telling this story. And at the very end of the movie, everyone who's ever had an effect on his life appears in front of him. And this was my favorite part of the movie because, and I'm gonna try not to get choked up here, essentially, Elton John realizes that he needs to let go of any anger and bitterness he's been holding on to because life is way too short. And his mom, who really hasn't been the nicest to him, shows up and he says, "Mom, I'm sorry. I know it can't have been easy. I hope you can forgive me. And I'm going to forgive you because I've realized that that's what we need to do for each other." And then he sets boundaries with his parents, saying they're not allowed to talk to him a certain way anymore. And it's just such a valuable lesson. And I know for me, just the fact that I know that it's hard to let go of what people have said to you and what they've done, but you're only punishing yourself at a certain point. Like, if someone's done something to you, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago, or even last week, after a certain point, you just need to move on. And obviously, disclaimer necessary because Twitter's a thing. I'm not talking about actual like crimes, but I know for me, I held on to so much stuff that, yeah, it sucked, but at a certain point, you're really, you're really just punishing yourself. And if I'm going to be happy, I need to let go of all of that. And this movie was so good at explaining that to me. I remember I actually had a dream that I was 100 years old, and I was really jealous of one of my cousins, who in real life is my age, but in the dream he was 90. And I was so jealous that he got 10 more years, because I was going through my life and wondering, where all the time went and why I couldn't just get back another moment. And I woke up and I thought, I don't want that to be what happens. I want to be happy. I need to let go of any negative feelings I have towards anybody, because there's no point holding on to it. You can get yesterday back, but you can ruin tomorrow by holding on to yesterday. I'm turning 30 soon, and I am not going to hold on to anything bad that happened in my first 30 years. I can't. It's a waste of time, and my only goal for my next decade is to be happy. So Rocketman was an amazing movie. I really hope that everyone sees it. I can't think of anything they could have done to make it better. I was almost kind of sad when I saw it, because I thought, that's the greatest movie I'm ever gonna see. No other movie is gonna be better than that. So it's all downhill from here, but that's okay. It's so amazing. It's such an amazing movie. I cannot stress this enough. Thank you for watching my review on Rocketman, the greatest movie that has ever been made ever. If you haven't seen it, go see it right now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell to get future notifications, and comment below to let me know what you thought.